Ludlows was first opened around 1784, and it was this pit that had the distinction of being the first Radstock colliery to be connected to the Great Western Railway's broad gauge line from Frome to Radstock. The private siding agreement was signed on the 17th of February 1853, this connection being opened the following year to handle coal and wagon repairing material. In 1857, the broad gauge branch was pushed on towards Tynings Colliery via trackage of the Somersetshire Coal Canal tramway. This extension made the former 3-foot 5-inch gauge Somerset Coal Canal tramway branch from Tynings Colliery redundant, but it was nevertheless kept and in a remodelled form was used along with the Somerset Coal Canal branch to Ludlows to take spoil and dirt traffic from the two pits up an incline to new tipping areas in the district around Tynings Colliery. The winding shaft of Ludlows Colliery was an upcast, originally with a diameter of 4 foot 6 inches, later widened to 8 foot. The depth was 1,695 feet, including a sump of 30 foot. This shaft was sunk in badly disturbed ground and passed through the same seam 3 times. Here, looking at the back of the main building, I'll show you a picture of what the colliery used to look like. So yeah, this is situated at the bottom of Frome Hill coming into Radstock. As you can see there, this is the obviously rails that went off towards Tynings Colliery. That was linked in as well. Okay, we're back at Ludlow's Colliery. People that have just brought it, I just had a word with them that allowed me to come in and just film inside the gate. So we'll have a look around here. Obviously there's still some track left, but they've ripped all the track up around the back with the digger. They did it yesterday, so I missed that.
There you go, mate. It's
Cheers.
all yours.
Thank you very much. That's very kind. All right then. It might bounce. Okay, here we are. I was just talking to the owners that have brought it. This is Ludlows Colliery. Now, they seem to think this is where they repaired the wagons. This section on the side of the old colliery building, that's the wall there. This is all getting knocked down within a couple of months. It's going to be turned into housing. It's a shame all the track out the back has gone, but yeah, got a chance to get in here. They haven't bought that building next door, but I suppose that's listed. So this is going round the back. There's still some track here. Just seeing the ground. Now this would have joined on to the Bristol and North Somerset railway line around here. The sidings from the colliery run round to the left where we're looking. To the right we'll see a bridge that took the Bristol and North Somerset railway line towards the Great Western Radstock station. There was a mass of sidings obviously before the station. The yard was in the station area. It's a bit further on that way. There's obviously an old bridge. It's over the river. That's the colliery up there. intake was large, as was to be expected of a pit which had been working for 150 years. It was linked to Wellsway pit, and a quantity of the Wellsway coal was raised at Ludlows. The pit was also linked to Radstock Colliery, and also worked northwards until the workings were only 600 feet south of Clandown shafts. By the time of the nationalisation, it had been working for about 150 years and was nearing exhaustion, and played little part in the plans for the National Coal Board in Somerset. The National Coal Board closed the colliery on the 19th of March 1954, although the baths were used by the men from Rivlington Colliery until the pit closed in 1973.
Okay, here we are on the site of the Tynings Colliery. This was linked to Ludlows by a tramway. It also was serviced by the Somerset and Dorset railway line, obviously when that transferred from the Somerset Coal Canal. There's absolutely nothing left of it here. It's just a mound of just a big mound of grass, I suppose. Just ahead of there, that was where the Tynings incline was. Basically, from the colliery, a tramway stroke incline went up there, and that was the spoil heap, or what they know, better known as locally as the batch. I have got a picture of that, so I will show you that picture. It's quite interesting actually. You wouldn't even know, with all the trees growing on there, you wouldn't even know that there was an incline that went up there, and the batch was there. Very interesting.
Tynings Colliery was sunk in 1837. At a later date, possibly in 1838, the colliery became linked via an incline into the Somersetshire Coal Canal tramway. We are following the tramway now. In 1847, some 10 years after opening, the colliery passed into the Waldegrave ownership. In 1857, the broad gauge connection into Ludlows, the Great Western Railway's Frome to Radstock branch, extended up the incline alongside the Somersetshire Coal Tramway to serve Tynings Colliery, thus putting more coal traffic onto Great Western Railway's freight-only line. The Somersetshire Coal Canal branch up to Tynings was therefore no longer required for the purpose of coal hauling. Tynings Colliery suffered severe water problems, and on the 9th of October 1876, for example, the colliery was inundated by a good deal of water from the Rivlington series of workings. Some men were drowned in the incident, while a fair amount of damage was caused to the colliery itself. In July 1878, a second flood occurred, Rivlington again being held to blame. Nevertheless, in spite of its problems, the colliery continued to produce traffic for the Great Western Railway until the early years of the 20th century. The colliery finally closed in November 1909.
Okay, we're a bit further on. We've followed a kind of embankment. Now, it's a bit odd really. There's this piece of metal here, which is obviously a strengthening bit, but it looks like a bit of rail. It is a bit of rail. Now, that's obviously been put there to strengthen. Now, you've got a road just down there. I'll try and find on the map roughly where we are. But it looks like the actual tramway from Ludlows to Tynings Colliery came along here and ran at the back of these houses. So we're following it now. Obviously a lot of where it was has been built on. There's a house straight in front of us, so this just looks perfect for a cut-in. Okay, we're currently at the site of Wellsway Colliery. There are some more buildings left, as we can see there. Now this would have been the engine housing here for the steam engine. Now the chimney would have been just to the left behind here. Now the cables, I will go into the industrial estate in a minute, I'll just try to get around the back here. They ran down there, and where the roof is of that corrugated roof, there was the cables ran to the two shafts for the colliery. We'll have a walk down here and see what's about, but yeah, that's the actual engine housing.
Wellsway Colliery brought its first coal to the surface in 1833. Once open, the colliery tied into the Somerset Shear Coal Canal, Norton Hill tramway branch, running parallel to the then cutting across the Willow Brook. In 1897 the colliery was closed, but it actually remained in full production. At that time coal was being taken by a route underground to Ludlow's pit, where it was wound to the surface. 23 years passed by, and in 1920 Wellsway eventually closed for good. Under one of the buildings in the Wellsway industrial estate, here is an underground entrance into the shafts, so the miners would have come down here to head towards the cages. Now in the office of this building, that was the shower room.
But I'll find you.
Here we are at Middle Pit. It's quite hard to find. I thought it was further back than what it actually is. Now to our left was the gasworks. Now to the right, this was the area of Middle Pit. So we'll have a quick look round. I don't know what is left. There's a few buildings left, but you can't see where the what pit head was, the workings. Just to our right there through that scrapyard is where the tramway came off the Somerset and Dorset line to Middle Pit and then on to Clandown Colliery. So this was the side of the colliery, and on that side was the gasworks. So roughly about there was a gas meter, one of the big like gas tank things that move up and down as they fill with gas.
In 1886 the shaft depth at Middle Pit was 1,791 feet. This beating Tynings Colliery by some 51 feet. This made Middle Pit the deepest pit in the Somerset coalfields, this record depth lasting until 1911 when Tynings itself was further deepened.
Okay, that is the road we've just walked down where we parked the car. We've come through those gates. This is the area of where Clandown Colliery was. Now this was connected to Middle Pit via a tramway that came from Middle Pit up towards Clandown. From Middle Pit it was connected to the Somerset and Dorset railway line. Now those two mounds there, that is the spoil heaps for Clandown Colliery. Now there's absolutely nothing left, it's just barren. Okay, here we are walking up to Norton Hill Colliery, or it might just be Norton Colliery. This is a You're only able to come right down here in a car if you're going to this, I think it's a Sun Chemical factory, wherever that is. So we've still got some buildings left here. We'll obviously still have a look on the map. Now the colliery is in that area there. So where them trees are, that would be the spoil heap. Now, I believe this was connected, well this was connected to the Great Western Railway, or the Bristol and North Somerset. There's some buildings there. Just walk around this corner. Yeah, private road. Bit rubbish, but yeah, so that's the spoil heap there. That's where the colliery was. So that is the Earl of Waldegrave's collieries done. We've added Clandown and Norton Hill Colliery to it. Obviously we're going to move away from Radstock now towards Midsummer Norton on the Bristol and North Somerset line. We're currently stood on the track bed of the Somerset and Dorset Joint Railway. So yeah, please like, subscribe, and I look forward to getting out and about again and showing you some more relics of the Somerset coalfields. Thanks, bye.